Hello, good afternoon. Happy Monday. I am just coming back from lunch, and so we're going to make a steak and rice bowl. So just give me a second, and I will give other people a chance to join, and we will get started. I hope everybody has been having a nice Monday. Hopefully, your Monday hasn't been Mondaying like mine. But we'll just get our ingredients here. Very basic recipe that we'll be doing, which is how we like it. All right. So the first thing that we're going to do is boil our rice. So I have some rice here. This is about, I want to say about a cup of rice. I am making lunch for myself and my partner. So, obviously adjust if you're just cooking for yourself. I have some water boiling. So I'm just going to bring you guys over here. And we'll add rice to our pot. Let me get a cooking spoon. And you will just, apologies there. We'll just cook that. Oh, and I had this on high heat. We're gonna lower this to medium heat. And then I actually have adobo seasoning here. And so what I do is I'll add this in and stir it around. It gives the rice a yellow color, almost like a curry rice. So we'll go ahead and add that in. Stir that around. Okay. And we'll let that cook. I'll lower the heat here because I don't want the rice to cook too quickly and then end up burning on the bottom. So let me just make sure that this is secure before we continue. Okay, make sure that you guys can see. All right, so now we have jalapeno. You can remove this from your recipe if you are spice averse or if you just simply do not like jalapenos. I do, I like spicy food. So what I'm gonna do is just remove the core here. Remove some of this also. And then we're just gonna cut this into small pieces. So cut the long way first, and then cut the short way. I can literally smell the heat coming off of the jalapenos. All right, so our jalapenos are cut. We'll add it to a small bowl here. And then the next thing to cut will be our shallot or onion if you don't have shallots. To be very honest with you, I don't think it matters. To me, they're all one and the same, but same thing. Let me not cut my fingers here. Just remove the skin. Hi guys, I'm making a steak and rice bowl. Just came back from work and making lunch, and I need it quick and straight to the point. So I figured why not come on live and make lunch with you guys. I hope you guys have been having a nice day. Someone said salsa. Yes, actually, I have made this with a salsa, but I don't have the ingredients, and so just using what I have. So the shallot is cut up. We'll just transfer that to a bowl. And I have a pan heating up behind me. Oh, I didn't even see this. Let me remove this. Just remove this. together. So while I cook, how's everybody doing today? Talk to me, chat to me. Let me know. How's your day going? Is it busy? Is it chill? Are you also cooking lunch? Let me know. Or you can just watch. That also that also works too. If you're just looking for something to watch, that is fine as well. All right, so the shallot and the jalapenos are cut. They're both in here. So what we're gonna do, let's move you guys over here. I'm just gonna prop you guys so that you can see what I'm making and how it's looking. Okay, all right. So now we're gonna go ahead and cook the shallots and the jalapenos. Get a cooking spoon. And then I will add just a little bit of salt, give it some taste. And just continue sauteing. And I generally, when I'm sauteing vegetables, I like the vegetables to be browned just a little bit, but the color should still be there. And obviously that's to retain the nutrients in your veggies. So just in case you did not know that, I do that with broccoli. I do that with spinach. Spinach, I actually tend to add at the end, like if I am adding spinach to my dish, because it doesn't take long before spinach gets wilted. So if you're cooking it for a really long time, like it's gonna shrivel up. So yeah, with vegetables, I cook it enough that obviously it's browned, but still maintains its color so that I am getting the nutrients. All right. So this is done. So I'm going to transfer it to this little bowl here, and then we will continue this. I'll put the pan on low heat because I'm going to use it for my meat next. So we'll transfer that over. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's move you guys again. So let's get our steak. I have back here. Let's move this over. All right. So here we have some shaved steak. I have a chili and Cuban rub that I am going to add on and mix through. So that's here. I just put a little of both and mix them together. So I'll add that to my shaved steak. And then really mix it through. I usually take just a minute or two to do this, but I'm pretty intentional about that because I like my meat well seasoned. I know people tend to do salt and pepper. That's fine too. But, you know, again, just like a little bit of a kick to my food. All right, so that is done. We'll go ahead and let's oil. I'm just gonna go ahead and re-oil my pan to cook the steak. So just give me 1 second before I move you guys. All right, let's move you guys over with the steak. Make sure you guys can see. Okay, there we go. And we'll just let the pan heat up just a little bit more since I put it on low heat in between because I didn't want it to like burn the pan while I'm preparing the steak. So we've got tongs. If I can find my tongs. Oh, here we go. All right. I just want to make sure that you guys can see. Perfect. Okay. Now We'll add our steak. Yeah, this should be good. And then at that point, it's honestly self-explanatory. You cook your steak to your liking. Let that sit for a second. And at the same time, I'm cooking my rice. I'm not sure if you guys were on the live when I started cooking the rice, but the rice has, let me show you guys. The rice is boiling and I put adobo seasoning. What I will do after this live is include all the ingredients and quantities. Obviously, they're estimates because this is for 2 people. And, again, you might want to make this recipe just for yourself, but I will make sure to include everything so that you guys can always come back to the live and, do it step by step with the video too. And so, yeah, and then we'll just cook our steak. Like I said, cook it to your liking. So while this cooks, I want to chat with you guys. I actually had a friend who told me she has never had rice and steak, that she's used to having like steak and potatoes, or whether it's mashed potatoes or, baked potatoes. And I thought that was really, I thought that was actually very interesting because I feel like more times than none, when I do have steak, it's typically with rice. Do you guys have that experience? Someone said, what will you prefer to see, a tree grow or Okay. Are you trying to be a comedian here? And I'll leave it at that. But anyway, yeah, I thought that was interesting that she tends to only have steak with potatoes, whereas I tend to have steak with rice and really not with potatoes. So I don't know if any of you have had like a similar or have like a similar preference, but let me know. And let me know how your Monday is going. Let's see. Just trying to make sure I'm not missing any of you. Okay. All right, so the steak is cooking. And once the steak is done, what I'm gonna do is add in, I have this like, it's kind of like a chipotle butter thing that I'm gonna add in here. I'm actually gonna drain out some of this liquid just because, well, anyway, I'm not going to be using the liquid at all, but I like to drain it out, especially because I'm going to be adding a little bit of butter in this, the chipotle butter specifically. Is it just me? I personally like my shaved steak closer to well done. But if it's like a sirloin steak or something like that, I prefer it medium well. Do you guys cook your steak uniform regardless of whether it's shaved or, just like a block of meat? Let me know. Because I actually just recently got into medium well. Don't come for me. I know well done is like killing a steak. I grew up in a household where anything that still had red in it was considered not fully cooked. So, the more you know. I tried medium well while I was out on a date night, and I was like, oh, this is actually not bad. And so now I cook my steak medium well since. But when it comes to like shaved steak, I don't necessarily follow that rule. So, all right, so it's more or less done. I'm gonna just drain out some of this liquid, so bear with me. Just gonna come off camera and do that. Okay. There we go. And then let me show you guys the butter. So this is the chipotle butter. Has a little bit of seasoning in there. And I'm just gonna actually add that to my steak and turn the heat off because the steak is done. And just melt that through. And the rice is going. Let me actually turn up the heat on the rice so it can be done. I am so hungry. I am starving. I even almost considered just doing this off camera, like just cooking and eating and not coming on live, but I also understand that live sessions are, for me anyway, it's an opportunity to talk with you guys and also just humanize my account. I feel like, community and just chatting and yapping with you guys is equally as important as obviously providing content on YouTube. So that's why I like to do these. It's just a means of interacting with you all. All right, the steak is done. Let's move this over. We have the rice going. Give me 1 second. Let me just adjust this. There we go. Okay, and you guys should be able to see that. There we go. So I'm just now cooking the remainder of the moisture that is in the rice, and then the rice will be done, and then the last thing will be to plate our dish. So let me just get my plate, and then we can do that together. Just keep my rice. This is nearly done. This probably needs a few more minutes. Also just trying to make sure it doesn't stick on the bottom because I raised the heat so that it could cook faster. Nice. Make sure that the water is completely cooked through. I don't want watery rice. Yeah, but when it comes to cooking, what fun things have you guys made? I'm always trying to try out different recipes, try my hand at different things. I have a shakshuka recipe that I made a few weeks back that was incredible, and I'm so glad that I recorded that. If you haven't watched that video, definitely check it out. It's definitely more of an ASMR watch and follow video. There's no voiceover or anything like that. But that recipe, that dish in general is delicious, and I didn't realize how simple it was until I cooked it myself. And I think I found that recipe, or I got inspired to try making that recipe off of, I think it was YouTube actually. So yeah, so if you guys have any recipes that you found was fun to make or that you enjoyed, let me know, because that will give me inspo on what to make next and try out, whether it's through live or like a structured video where it's posted and you go and watch. So all right, so this is done. So what I will do is turn off, actually, yeah, this is done. All right, let's turn off the heat. And I show you guys. Let's see. So most of the moisture is gone from the rice. Just making sure this is in the camera view. Okay, so let's move you guys over. All right. Let's prop you here. If I can. There we go. All right. So now, if I can. God. This tripod is so frustrating. Okay. Let's tighten you guys so you're not like flipping upside down. No. All right. That's good enough. All right. So let's plate our dish. We'll add on the rice. My boyfriend definitely eats more than I do, so I try to, this plate that I'm doing now is for me. And then I will dish his. Okay. And then we'll add on our steak. For me, protein is so important to me, hence the name of my page, Pockets of Protein. So I guess, yes, the niche is that I cook recipes, but I cook recipes specifically that are high protein. So just a little backstory in case you didn't know. So I tend to be a little bit more heavy-handed with protein for myself, but more carbs for my boyfriend. So let me add his protein over here. Okay. And then, last but not least, we have our veggies. So this was the sauteed shallot and jalapenos. I love veggies. They help to add more volume to my food, so just gonna add a little bit more and then add some to his plate. All right. And that, my dear, is your steak bowl. So we got steak, we got rice, we got jalapenos and shallots. It's absolutely delicious. It's very simple. That took me, I'm looking at the time here, under 30 minutes, and this is what I'm gonna have for lunch. So thank you so much for joining. Like I said, I'll add all the ingredients and quantities in a comment once this video goes live so that you can do it yourself. It's very straightforward, and I will see you in the next live. Take care.